Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at a new HG Build Divers kit. This is the Impulse Gundam Arc. It's one of two sister suits. We also have the Impulse Gundam Lancier, which I'll be taking a look at after this. But first we're going to take a look at the Arc here, just because it's first in numerical order in the line. And actually between the two, I prefer the Arc more. But we'll see, and we'll talk more about that later on. For the time being, really cool box art here on the front, very prominently featuring this giant gun that this kit has, which is very cool. It's based on the Impulse Gundam, which you could maybe derive from the name there. The Revive Impulse Gundam was a really nice kit, and so I imagine a lot of the nice features of that kit will be carried over into this one as well, and it should be a pretty solid release. Interestingly, there in the background too, you can also see it separated into the different parts that the Impulse Gundam separates into, the legs and the top part, and just kind of how that looks with those parts flying on their own. And then you can also mix and match them between the Arc and the Lancier as well. So again, we'll take a look at all of that later on. Just want to get this started by saying a big thank you to USA Gundam Store, as always, guys, for supporting this channel and for sponsoring this review. Check the link to their site down below, show them some love, use that coupon code there, save yourself some money, and just overall, thank you to them. So let's take a look around the box. This is number 17 in the HG Build Divers line. Down here on the bottom, we've got basically a reenactment of the pose that's on the front of the box. There is the Arc rifle, again, very, very large gun. I'm worried about the weight issues of that. From what we've seen in different promo images and everything, it seems to be able to hold it up, which I have my doubts about, but we'll find out soon enough. It has the beam cannons there on its side skirts as well. It's kind of okay. And then the separating and combining the leg flyer and the chest core flyer, as I mentioned in the background of the cover art. So here is a little bit about combining it with the mode change there with the Impulse Gundam Lancier. So we'll be taking a look at that in the Lancier review. And then over here is just the front and back image, what the kit is going to look like, all painted up. I love the colors for this kit as well. Really cool colors. That said, I think the plastic is not really going to match with the overall colors. I don't know, maybe it does. From what I've seen of recent images of it, it looked like the plastic ended up being a lot more blue than what it looks like in the artwork. It definitely looks more purple, but I don't know, it's somewhere between purple and blue. We'll take a look at the runners here in just a moment, but there's how it's going to look when it's all painted anyway. The list price for this is 1,900 yen. Not too bad. It's a little bit on the higher end, but it does have a fair amount of plastic in here. So let's have a look. I can tell from these runners, though, these first few definitely look more purple than blue, but we can see we've got some other colors in there, and that yellow definitely doesn't look like the yellow that is on the side of the box there. Maybe it does, but it's definitely looking a little bit different. So we'll take a look at all the runners in a moment. Let's first find the manual and have a look through that. As usual, we've just got the box art there on the top. At the bottom, artwork here of the Gundam and the pilot, or the diver, I guess is the correct word, right? If you want to check out that information there about the Impulse Arc, Emilia, and then the energy and separating, combining, all of that stuff there, you can check that out. Back around to the back of the manual, obviously this is based on the HG Revive Impulse Gundam there. And again, just some information about the Arc rifle, the leg flyer, and the chest core flyer. And a little bit here about and then some more information here about the Arc rifle, the leg flyer, the chest core flyer, and the Arc Lancier, which would be the combination of the two of them, as you can see once again down there. So here's the color guide at the bottom, all in Japanese and English, if you want to refer to that for the official colors. Here's our parts list. As you can see, there are going to be a lot of leftover parts from the A and B and C runners. I'm guessing those are just leftover parts from the Impulse Gundam that are not going to be used. And then it's just on through the construction as normal. Torso, head, arms, the upper body is done, legs, waist section, and then the weapons and backpack. Going around to the color pages is how to change it to the different modes, so how to separate it and make it into the different flyers, and then how to combine, mix and match here with the Arc Lancier, or to make the Arc Lancier, and then to mix and match the parts even further, like so. So all pretty interesting. Let's get a look at the runners. So first up, here's our foil sticker sheet. We've got a couple of big purple ones there that are going to be pretty ugly, I imagine. The rest of them are just pretty much for cameras and different things, so nothing really too bad. Eyes, the one there in the front of the chest, the one big camera there for the rifle, and then a couple little blue ones there, I think for head cameras maybe also. And then we've got PC002 for our polycaps for the kit. And then we got runner A1, of course, just from the original Revive Impulse Gundam, and this is definitely in a little bit more purple color than blue, so I don't know why. Sometimes I was seeing it, it was looking a little bit blue, but this definitely looks very purplish in tone. We do also have runner A2 as well, which is a copy of this part of the runner up here. Runner B1 is just in gray for a lot of the joint parts and things like that, and among the extra parts that you'll have with this kit is the parts to make the Impulse's beam rifle, which is pretty cool if you want to use that for a different kit or something, or use it for this kit even if you want. We also have Runner B2, which is a copy of this section of the runner here. We got runner C1 and C2 combined here. Now this runner definitely is blue, and it's a very dark blue. It's not quite navy, I don't think, but it's definitely a very deep blue color. Then skipping over runner C and D1, we've got D2 here in yellow, and again, it's a very kind of like mustardy yellow color, not as bright as how it looked on like the artwork and in the sample images, but I think once it's out on the actual kit, like compared to all the purple, it is going to brighten up. It's just seeing it on its own, it doesn't look quite as bright as I would have liked it to. And skipping ahead again to runner F2, this is our one little piece here in clear green for the eyes. And skipping ahead one more time here to runner I, now we're into the new parts for this kit. So it's a 3-color runner. We've got some gray there at the bottom, white up there at the top, basically for one part for the face and the fuel tanks on the back, and then a few more purple parts in there for some new shoulder parts, head parts, and the like. Runner J1 is another new runner, and it's in that same blue color that we saw before, very dark blue. And then we've got runner J2 as well, which is a copy of this section here. Those are going to be for the cannons on the side skirts. And finally, runner K1 is going to be in this off-white, very light gray color here, basically for parts for the big giant rifle. So you can get an idea at least of where that 1900 yen price tag is coming from, just with all the plastic that we've got in there. Unfortunately though, as we've seen, there's just going to be a lot of wasted plastic, a lot of leftover parts from the Impulse Gundam. That is just going to tend to happen whenever you have kits like this that are based off of a different kit. Variants will do that. It's not really worth it for Bandai to chop up the runners more to not include those extra parts. But nevertheless, that is the Impulse Gundam Arc. It looks really cool. Like I said, I really like just the look of this Gundam. It's pretty interesting. Almost like a mix of Gundam Seed, 00, Age kind of styling, a whole bunch of different stuff kind of all coming together for a pretty cool looking Gundam. So I'm looking forward to this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, check the link to USA Gundam Store down below, and I'll see you guys in the review. Goodbye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.